Actually building a turntable. It's a 2-shelf turntable for a customer's dollhouse. I like making toys. As you can see, it has 2 shelves. At the top, it actually spins around. Then this is a photograph of gluing it up. These are called Bessie clamps, and I have many of them. These are 36 inches long, 28 inches wide, and 28 inches high. That's the finished dimension of the actual piece. What I do is I pair the legs, I taper the legs. When it's all done, it's going to look very slick. I've already cut the first shelf and the first side out of this 4x8 sheet, and I'm going to set those aside. And then I'm going to make one more cut, because we're going to be able to get 2 of these out of here, and then we're going to have a piece left over that we can actually use for a second side. You do what you call a dry fit, just to make sure everything fits perfectly, and then what you do is you glue them, which is what my glue is right here, and I also will then put some brads in, and I use my, well, it's not handy at the moment, yeah, here it is. I use my power brad to actually do the brads. Okay, as you can see, we have the basic shape of the table. We have a bottom shelf in place, and we have a middle shelf in place. Okay, so now we've got our sides on. Okay, so this adds a whole lot of stability to the whole table. And the next thing I'm going to do is put the top on. Now the top actually has 2 tops. It has the top for the cabinet, and then it's got the top for the actual swivel, which is the Lazy Susan part of it. As you can see, we've made some really good progress here. We've got the top on. Now what we did is we installed the 1/4 round molding all the way around, and it really sets it off and gives it, again, that kind of contemporary look, especially with the tapered legs. Show you as well. This is the Lazy Susan mechanism, and it's all ball bearing. So what you want to do when I install is you find the absolute center all the way around. I've got the pilot bolts now. You see these? Now that has to be dead nuts. And it turns in either direction. So what happens is, in this case, my client's dollhouse would fit in here, but also works for the barns that I build, or for that matter, any large model that you may have. And this is your storage areas, and it sets about 28 inches off the ground, so it's very convenient from a eye point of view, as well as just from not having to bend over. All right, as you can see, we've made some really good progress here. We have filled in every little brad hole, if you will, and sometimes when the wood comes together, it doesn't come together just exactly the way you want, so you kind of fill in those little cracks. Anyway, we did that, sanded it down, put the molding, as you can see, around everything. and it looks very good, and it works. How's this? So now the next thing to do is to paint it, and we're going to use and you can use any brand you want, but you can use a sort of a one coat all. This is a primer as well as semi-gloss water-based paint, and we're going to put 3 coats of this on, and then it'll be ready for the drying period, which is about 2 days. You want to make sure it dries very well, and then we're going to wrap it up, ship it out to our customers. Well, this is the first time you've seen our Lazy Susan 2-shelf display table on the floor of our workshop. As you know, up to this point, it's been on tables during its various stages of construction, and it does work beautifully, as you can see, in either direction, and as advertised. And it's perfect for any kind of an item that you actually cherish as a collectible. Now, this is going to a woman who has a beautiful Victorian dollhouse. We also make dollhouses, by the way. And we also make toy barns. The largest being one that weighs about 52 pounds. So this is a very sturdy, well-built table that can handle up to 1,000 pounds, and I doubt that you're going to have something that heavy. But it's also great for, well, I'll tell you what, it's great for ship models. Now, ship models can be in glass cases, and they can be very, very heavy, not 1,000 pounds, but you may want to use it for something like that. So as you see, it has many, many uses. Now, the other thing is we can customize this to any color you want, and we can also customize it to any dimension that you require. So you want to bear that in mind. So we'll see you next time on another edition of Handmade Art and Design.